As alluded to in my prior rant, how to support Battletech, but not their owners, the Battletech IP is under more strain than Movie Bob's bikini briefs. But the fact remains, FOSSA flambéed themselves, and the IP was promptly drawn and quartered by corpos at Topps and Microsoft, with each owning a piece they found new and exciting ways to ruin. The most creative technique they've recently applied, of course, being to license it out to Leninists. And for once, I'm not employing that term for even partially alliterative purposes. You may have caught the cloud of caca kicked in all of our faces when Catalyst Game Labs, current, and if they get their way, final licensees of the Battletech franchise, let out the loudest virtue signal this side of a poetry slam recently, decrying discrimination more imaginary than my money's value, imagined affronts perpetuated by imagined individuals directed at imagined minorities. Hell, if you had half this imagination creating new Battletech products and fiction, maybe you wouldn't have to rely on Kickstarter cash or donating plasma to keep the lights on, you leering retards. The announcement, among other things, instituted a ban on any and all discussion of politics in any official Battletech forum. A statement that was frankly sweet nectar to my nose, if only it didn't swing exclusively in one direction. From Pinko Pride anthologies to official Battletech mods putting trans flag colors on every available surface of the gaming table, let's just say this standard is about as evenly applied as Sharon Osbourne's lip filler. The backlash was as immense as it was immediate. On a Catalyst Twitter account that normally couldn't draw flies in an outhouse, this post exploded like an upturned Jeep Grand Cherokee, in the aftermath of which these people set about to block in Battletech fans like Steve Shives on a triple shot espresso. And that is when the turd typhoon really made landfall, with everyone from Arch to other Battletech fans weighing in, the ones who aren't utter cowards afraid of losing access to the company and its properties, of course. But there's a reason they were so quick on the draw with the block button, which we'll elucidate momentarily, because while on the surface it seemed like standard echo chamber etiquette to banish Battletech fans who were even meagerly critical of the company, in practice, I can sadly confirm today that something much more sinister informed all of the above. Putting aside my own dunk on these dolts, folks from all around the tabletop gaming space Catalyst falsely purport to represent all weighed in on this idiocy. And the reason why is simple. Not since the State of the Union has a wall of text been so simultaneously specific and skull-crushingly, confoundingly vague. Vague in the identity of the fictitious affronts it allegedly attempts to redress, and specific in its unabashedly authoritarian posturing. Whose, quote, race, religion, culture, disability, career, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity had been derogatorily defamed exactly? Your guess is as good as God's. In weeks of unremitting research and even interviews with those close to Catalyst, I've yet to encounter even one substantiated example. Conversely, statements like, participation is a privilege, not a right, leave about as much to the imagination as Lizzo in a slingback thong. Now, if it sounds like I have inside access to the situation, it's because in this case anyway, I sorta kinda do. With several gaming mods, demo team members, and yes, even existing Catalyst employees reaching out on understandable condition of anonymity to inform me that the first fetid fruits of Catalyst cancel culture were unfortunately planted months ago. It began with the demo team Discord, tabletop games naturally requiring more playtesting than, any given Bethesda game, before we're ready to drop some dice, of course. The problem? A sudden influx of trans activist Johnny-turned-Janie-come-latelys who by their own admission had barely played a game of Battletech voluntarily and contributed precious little to the community apart from painting trans colors on a Timberwolf or two. And while that's spine-snappingly cringe for a fact, when the self-same demo team members began posting pictures on social media wherein they're wielding automatic weaponry at gaming conventions and vowing to wipe out cis people, let's just say in the wake of a Nashville Christian school shooting that was carried out by a hormone pill-popping pronoun person, it raised more eyebrows than The Rock. When these same demo team members then began doxing so-called conservative members of the Discord and Reddit, with active Catalyst employee Russell Zimmerman actively participating in and positively commenting on said doxing attempts, the previous regime said enough is enough, cyberstalking and homo-ops is off limits here, per the terms of use, and everyone who doxed anyone whatsoever was, understandably, exiled from the server. But if you thought that was the end of that, you're about to get a crash course in cultural revolution. Because a Maoist struggle sessioneer is physically incapable of admitting fault, and not in the deepest surgically installed lady gash could they hold an L to save what passes for their lives. And so, predictably, they tattled to teacher, harassing tops and their subordinate Catalyst Game Labs for imaginary transphobia, who not only reinstated the doxing cyberstalker in question, but fired the mod who banned them and anyone at all else who might have had cause to gainsay them. Now, all of this was alleged over a month ago, until this past week, when newly installed community manager Rem Alternus spoke with the Catalyst simps at Sarna and confirmed absolutely all of it. Not only was Catalyst planning a purge of undesirables for a flamin' hot minute, their new community and marketing manager openly admits in the interview in question to only playing the game itself 2 times in their 800-pound life. And if their accounts of barely being able to market new products until a day before they fly onto shelves is any indication, it just goes to show you're not qualified to manage a community just because you happen to be the size of one. Folks, Catalyst have gone from speaking like used car salesmen to thinking like them. And look, I get that this can be disheartening to longtime fans. Some of us have withdrawn further from the hobby than Andrew Tate's chin, and perhaps therein lies the immortal error. To withdraw is to concede. I still play Battletech as much as ever, but some have straight up skedaddled, and I, for one, cannot encourage you enough to grow a dick and don't! I hasten to point out in my Support Battletech Not Catalyst video, remaining a Battletech fan and embracing blue-haired Bolshevism, or forsaking the IP entirely and clinging fast to your dignity, is a profoundly false dichotomy and will never be a choice a true mech warrior must make. Create your communities, moderate them as you see fit, and leave these leering imbeciles to twist their dongs in dismay, because that's precisely what they possess the power to do. It's nice you had a powwow with the burning pubic bush and descended the mountaintop with stone tablets full of Trotsky talking points. Now let's see you actually enforce them, asshat. For the cringe cabal at Catalyst to claim they can police our conduct or personal politics on the internet, at our gaming table, or anywhere else in the heliocentric solar system is to fundamentally misunderstand both Battletech and tabletop gaming itself. Chiefly that is driven not by the IP owner, licensee, or Pharisee, but by the audience. An IP with a rich tabletop system is nothing more than a tool. An IP used as an ideological cudgel by commie cockholsters is owned and administrated by a tool. I'm Razor Fist. No guts, no galaxy.
You dare to refuse my
fucking pronoun!